Girl looks inside trash can every day until mom realizes mistake. The mom had been trailing her daughter for what seemed like an hour now. She noted the little girl wouldn't stop staring at the trash can. The mom had dismissed it before, but now she was beyond worried. With knitted brows, she followed her daughter, but she was left speechless by what she uncovered. For Caroline Pebbles, a determined single mom, things were supposed to be less hectic now. She and her 12-year-old daughter Heather recently settled in a new neighborhood. The move had been prompted by Caroline's job promotion, a needed step forward in her career that required relocation to another state. The prospect of a fresh start excited Caroline, but for Heather it meant leaving behind cherished friends and familiar surroundings. Heather's resistance to the move was palpable. Her room echoed with the silence of unspoken frustration. Caroline attributed her daughter's odd behavior to the adjustments required after the move, but she couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was troubling Heather. The peculiar behavior began to manifest when Caroline noticed Heather repeatedly staring at trash cans, her gaze fixed as if deciphering some hidden message within. Initially dismissing it as absent-mindedness, Caroline soon became alarmed when the trash can fixation persisted. It seemed as if Heather was drawn to these mundane receptacles by an invisible force. Worried, Caroline tried the only thing she could, confronting her daughter gently, probing for any clues to the mysterious fascination. Heather hesitated, her eyes betraying a hidden burden, but she couldn't articulate the source of her preoccupation. Determined to unravel the mystery, Caroline juggled her responsibilities, including the financial strain from the move, to dedicate more time to Heather. The mother-daughter bond, however, faced challenges, as Heather's silence became a fortress, preventing Caroline from breaking through. Desperation gnawed Caroline, who grappled with the dual pressures of work and her daughter's enigmatic fascination with trash cans. It was only a matter of time before Caroline had enough. One day after school, she decided to tail Heather discreetly, hoping to observe her interactions with the mesmerizing trash cans. As they walked home, Heather's gaze fixed upon a particularly nondescript bin. Intrigued and perplexed, Caroline concealed herself behind a nearby tree, anxiously waiting for Heather's next move, and that's when it happened.
Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Seattle native Caroline Pebbles had always led a good life. She had always counted herself lucky in the people and things she had. Working as a sales representative at a pharmaceutical company, she did everything in her power to give her family everything they asked for. But things changed when Caroline found herself a single parent after a nasty divorce had torn her world apart, ushering the beginning of the end. Caroline gazed at the vacant rooms of her once warm and cozy house. The remnants of a broken marriage lingered in the air, mirroring the fractured pieces of her life. Her great neighborhood, now just a painful memory, seemed like a distant dream. The divorce had stripped her of luxuries, and the silence echoed louder than the laughter that once filled those walls. Half of her friends and family no longer reflected the warmth she once knew. Yet amid the ruins, Caroline found solace in the only person who never left her side. Though severed from the familiar, Caroline clung to one constant in her life, her daughter Heather. As a single mom, she embraced the challenge of creating a stable and nurturing environment for the 12-year-old. The echoes of past regrets were drowned by the laughter and love shared with Heather. In the absence of a partner, the bond between mother and daughter blossomed. But Caroline had no idea that it was all about to come crashing down. Caroline's resilience and need to provide for her daughter propelled her into a relentless pursuit of success. The corporate world became her battlefield, and she fought tooth and nail for recognition. Her hard work paid off when she clinched a promotion that promised to redefine her and Heather's lives. The job brought financial stability, a beacon of hope illuminating the path forward. Excitement danced in Caroline's eyes as she envisioned a future where her and Heather's dreams could become reality. She should have known that nothing but hardships awaited her. The newfound opportunity, however, demanded sacrifice. Caroline and Heather faced a crossroads, a decision that would alter the course of their lives. A new town in a different state beckoned, a realm of unfamiliar faces and unexplored landscapes. The catch, their roots had to be upturned, leaving behind the comfort of the known. It was a daunting prospect for a 12-year-old like Heather, who clung to the familiarity of friends and the stability of routine. Heather, with the innocence and resistance only a preteen possessed, opposed the move vehemently. The idea of leaving behind friends and what she considered familiar seemed like an unbearable price to pay. Tears streaked down her cheeks as she explained herself. Caroline, torn between ambition and maternal guilt, faced the challenge of convincing her daughter that this change was not a betrayal but a stepping stone to a brighter future. Late-night conversations became a gateway for reassurances as Caroline, armed with love and understanding, embarked on the delicate task of persuading Heather. With each word, Caroline tried to bridge the gap between past and potential future. It was a dance of emotions where every step mattered in the delicate choreography of convincing a hesitant heart. She had no idea all this would end in tears. As boxes were packed and dreams were folded into suitcases, the impending move cast a bittersweet shadow over their lives. The farewell to the familiar became a procession of memories, each room echoing with the laughter and footsteps that had once defined their shared space. Yet amid the melancholy, the promise of a better tomorrow hung in the air, a promise that fueled Caroline's determination to give Heather a life beyond the confines of their past. The day of departure arrived, marked by bittersweet farewells and tearful goodbyes. Caroline hugged her friends tightly, grateful for the support they offered during the stormy aftermath of her divorce. As they drove away, she couldn't help but cast one last glance at the familiar landscape, acknowledging that she was leaving a part of herself behind. The new state welcomed Caroline and Heather with open arms, and as they settled into their new home, the promise of a fresh start began to unfold. Caroline immersed herself in her work, striving to ensure the sacrifices made were worthwhile. But things were different for Heather. By the time Caroline realized what was happening, it was too late. It all began with Heather's fascination with a neighbor's trash can. Since she and Caroline had just moved in, they didn't have a can of their own and kept their trash in bags that Caroline would take out every morning just as the garbage truck arrived. But one afternoon while working at home, she noticed Heather was staring toward their neighbor's compound. But Caroline didn't think much of it, not knowing how it would all end. Caroline thought her daughter was absent-minded, daydreaming while her eyes locked onto their neighbor's trash can. But the next day it happened again. Caroline was arranging a few boxes in the garage when she noticed Heather in the driveway, her eyes glued to the neighbor's black trash cans. That's when Caroline approached her. Caroline talked to her, telling her that they'd get their own cans soon. She thought Heather might be feeling bad because their neighbors had trash cans and they didn't, but Heather looked at her crossly. Caroline realized her daughter hadn't actually been daydreaming, her mind had been working something out, and talking to her had jumbled her train of thought. What was happening? Heather didn't know what to make of the situation, but concern was slowly taking root. She worried that something was happening to her daughter and she couldn't pinpoint what. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she was struggling financially with all her cash gone to their move. Still, she knew she had to focus on finding out what was bothering her child. She set everything aside and started her investigation, if only she knew what she was about to uncover. The neighborhood Caroline had moved into was a good one. The houses were big and beautiful, the lawns green and manicured. Kids played about and moms made pastries and took them to their neighbors. All things considered, the neighborhood was perfect. But now, given Heather's behavior, Caroline wondered if there was more than met the eye when it came to this place she'd chosen to call home. Did her daughter pick up on something she didn't know? Driven by concern, Caroline decided to delve deeper into Heather's peculiar obsession with trash cans. She discreetly followed her daughter's gaze from house to house, realizing that Heather wasn't merely staring, she was counting them. That afternoon, Caroline discreetly trailed Heather as they walked through their quiet suburban neighborhood. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, but Caroline's thoughts were consumed by the mystery unfolding in her own home. Heather seemed oblivious to her mother's watchful eyes, blissfully strolling along the familiar streets. As Caroline followed her, she noticed her daughter meet up with another girl named Lily who was carrying a large bag. Intrigued, Caroline kept her distance but remained within earshot. The two girls engaged in animated conversation, occasionally glancing at the trash cans scattered along the sidewalks. Caroline strained to catch their words, her curiosity growing with every passing moment. To Caroline's surprise, the conversation between Heather and Lily revolved around the trash cans. They discussed the different types and sizes and even shared insights on the best ways to keep them clean. It was as if trash cans were the focal point of an entire subculture that had until now eluded Caroline's awareness. She struggled to comprehend the depth of her daughter's newfound obsession. Suddenly, Heather and Lily decided to take action. They approached a particularly weathered and neglected trash can and without hesitation began cleaning it. Caroline watched in astonishment as the two girls, armed with gloves and garbage bags, transformed the grimy receptacle into a shiny example of cleanliness. It was a strange sight, leaving Caroline both perplexed and fascinated. Approaching the duo, Caroline questioned Heather about the unexpected turn of events. In a heartfelt revelation, Heather explained that since the move, she noticed the toll it took on her mother. Wanting to help, she discovered that the local community paid older kids to wash garbage cans. Heather intended to surprise her mom with the earned money. Overwhelmed, Caroline, in tears, hugged her daughter tightly, realizing the depth of Heather's kindness. Heather's actions were a testament to her compassion and maturity beyond her years. Caroline, preoccupied with work and the challenges of the move, had failed to recognize her daughter's silent struggle to support and uplift her. The revelation brought forth a wave of tear-inducing emotions, making Caroline appreciate the strength and resilience within Heather. Caroline marveled at how Heather, at such a young age, displayed empathy and a deep understanding of her mother's unspoken burdens. The realization that Heather had found a way to contribute, even in a small way, made Caroline reflect on the profound bond they shared. The trash cans, once a source of confusion, now symbolized Heather's initiative and love. Heather proudly revealed that she had accumulated $100 from her efforts. The simple act of washing trash cans had turned into a meaningful gesture of love and support. A teary Caroline, touched by her daughter's selflessness, recognized the treasure within the mundane. The financial relief was secondary to the priceless gift of knowing her daughter understood and cared deeply. In the midst of soap bubbles and shared laughter, Caroline realized that the true richness of life often lay hidden in unexpected places. The move, initially daunting, had unearthed a treasure trove of love, community, and the indomitable spirit of a daughter who saw beyond the challenges. Together, they embraced the journey of building a new life, one trash can at a time.